Um, Thank you for letting me know. Vertical? Yes, there we go. Okay, so I am actually clear now because let me double check before I. Oh, ooh, this is good. All right, so I should just leave it. I don't think it matters. Um, all the same. All right. Okay. Yeah, I don't really like that in the back. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot this thing's like long wise. And then all you have is hold on, student debt, right? What else is there? Credit card debt? Yes. Okay, so here we are. 15,000. I mean, that's a dot, by the way. Maybe not in Europe. All right. Anyways, so this is minimum wage, which is everybody working that, and then this is a salary job, which is 40,000. It's pretty low. So I mean, if a person working 40,000 a year with a rent of 1,800, 200 a month for your car payment, which is super cheap, and then you still are up 20,800 a year. Meanwhile, a person working minimum wage 40 hours a week, which is full time at least, gets 1,200 for 2 weeks, right? And in 12 months, they get 14,000. So that means a year. And then you minus this, which is the rent. And you minus the 70 equals negative 7,200, right? Because 14, right? This rent is going to be 21,600 for a year, but you really only earn 14,000. So, damn it. I have to move back and forth all fucking day. Thank you. So, oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry, I'm really not used to looking at myself, so this is difficult when I'm not really trying to track people down. So, can you kind of see, like, how people working minimum wage can be really, really good at calculating? Oh, yeah, that could probably be easier. Thank you. It's not sour at all. It's because you guys keep bragging about your math skills, and I'm like, you realize they're forced to do math, right? Like, even if they don't want to do math, they have to do math, you know? Because if they don't do math, then they're going to be losing even more money. Is that going to make sense? So, when they have. No, no, no. That's why they don't buy cars. Because they cannot afford a brand new car because they already have bad credit from their credit card debt. And then they cannot afford a house because they already have car loans. And that's why. Oh, yeah, I forgot to show you guys this. So, this is me pretty much writing out every single person who has a minimum wage job, which is Walmart, CVS, Target, gas station. Pretty much like anywhere and everywhere you go. Oh, yeah, and restaurants. I forgot about that. Restaurants, So when you guys say you have more people and that people will like you and agree with you, I kind of have to disagree. Right? And if you mean like, well, see, when you guys try to use the corporation as a way for you to take advantage of these people, I think that's kind of when these people stop trying to buy the products. And I think that's why a lot of them think like Apple commits so much fraud, like, you know what I mean? The blackmail thing. It doesn't make sense. What doesn't make sense? How is this blackmail? Because you guys complain about 20,000 not being enough to all the corporations, and they're like, well, if you really do the math, we are literally going into the negatives. So if you want to talk about fraud right here, and you're not going to help us, then can you see how you guys are both committing fraud? Here, I'll say it this way, okay? Corporate fraud. Taking advantage of human rights. So technically, thank you, both is blackmail. Does that kind of make sense? Because you're trying to blackmail, like, yeah, I don't really understand who the fuck they're trying to blackmail. Like, who are you guys really complaining about? Because none of these people are ever gonna agree with you. So, like, you're just pretty much taking advantage of the rich people that don't understand. And you're, like, blackmailing them. So then when rich people see these people, they're just like, well, I mean, we already have these people threatening us all the time. So when you're gonna threaten us, it's kind of like, well, I mean, I always thought you guys were the same. Does that kind of make sense? And I mean, it would be a great idea, except the internet exists. So I think you just kind of got fucked there. Well, this kind of has a lot to do with Hong Kong because, thank you. Because all this right here, this is pretty much 99% of Hong Kong, right? Oh shit. I already scanned it. There's nothing. Hold on. How do you use this? Oh my gosh. I haven't used OBS in a while, and I don't really remember how to use this. Oh yeah, I scanned it before I did it. Why? Because I knew that you guys would try to do that. Oh, do you want me? Alright, so it shut down again. So open broadcasting. Oh, broadcaster software. Open broad. Oh my god, what the fuck? Alright, so it's free and open source software for video recording and live streaming. Wasn't there Huawei Linux something? Oops, that's not an X. Sorry. So Huawei just started selling laptops with a beautiful Linux OS pre-installed. So Linux, if you guys aren't aware, is open source. Right? Linux is the best known and most used open source operating system as an wait, what? Who wrote this? Alright, anyways. So when you guys threaten me, I just kind of laugh and I just, like, you know how a lot of people say like, "Oh yeah, I use Linux. I'm so fucking cool." And then And then they try to blackmail me, being like, "Oh yeah, I know how to open source, and I'm gonna fucking like screw your life up and like hack the shit out of your fucking stream." And I'm like, "And do you complain to the FBI that you're being blackmailed? Like, didn't you just blackmail me?" um. Anyways, so like I said, oh yeah, sorry. I was gonna put it over here with a 99%. Thank you. So 99% of Hong Kong, right here. You see this? 99% of Hong Kong works minimum wage, right? Because they pretty much all have jobs like this. That's why so many of them are on the streets, and they pretty much cannot be fired because guess what? They don't have salary jobs. So what are you gonna fire them from? So that's kind of when, yeah, there is a lot of like triad stuff. That's why a lot of the triads were like, "Hey, I'm from the triad too. Why are you attacking us when you're part of the triad? What are you doing?" So, yeah, and it's actually getting pretty crazy because if you really think about it, there's the Bolivia arrests, and then there was like another Latin America country, and then now there's Iran being protesting, and then like so yeah, I think people are pretty fucking aware of who the fuck you are, and I think they know exactly who you are as well. And I mean, I can technically just keep reporting you on League of Legends. So, and we all know from Gamergate, thank you, that the FBI is really not going to help you. So, I mean, I don't really understand. Well, I mean, even from C-SPAN, it was really funny. The head of security in California was like, "Yeah, honestly, I don't even know, man. Like, you could just see it in his face. He was just like, I'm just here. I have to do my job. These rich people fucking tell me to do shit. This is my fucking job." And that's why I called him Captain America, because we all watch Captain America, and there are certain times where they're like, "God damn, this is exactly." So that's kind of why I kept praising organized crime, because I'm like, if you can't really do your job how you wanted to do your job, then like, what's the fucking point? Anyways, so another reason, I wrote it down here. I wrote credit card debt, mortgage, car loans. What the fuck are that? Medical fees. Oh yeah, you guys don't have to worry about medical fees over here. Like here, this is salary. This is well, you see how Trump supporters are mostly just white people? If you combine the Asians with the black people with the brown people, that's a lot of people, right? I mean, I think the only reason why poor white people do not agree with us is because we are kind of not treating them well. You know? Anyways, so, like I said, this is minimum wage, so they have all of this, and this is a salary job. You see the difference? So, I mean, if you really talk about I would kind of consider the minimum wage, right? Because who is better at calculating paychecks? So when you guys are telling me like, "Oh yeah, I'm so good at math," and I'm like, and you can't even figure out your student debt. Doesn't even make any sense. You're not even losing money by working. You're gaining money. You're literally earning 20,000 a year and you're telling me you don't know how to make more money. Like, it literally doesn't make sense. Like, if they can live off of negative profit, like how are you not living with 20,000 extra profit? And that's like saying if you're living off of a 40,000 a year salary. Like, how are you telling me that you don't have enough money when they are literally living with negative $9,600 a year? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. So, you're gonna blackmail them by saying they're gonna end up being homeless while you're trying to blackmail the rich people into getting more tax cuts when you don't know how to use your $20,000. Like, I think the reason why, well, actually, no, that actually happened probably before because there is no technology. Like, now it's never going to happen again. Because if you really think about like cryptocurrency and like how technology works, like everybody talks about Foxconn. Like, I feel like everybody knows who the fuck Foxconn manufactures for, even though it's not public information. Like, you guys know how to look for the patents, you guys know where to look for the copyrights. So even if the media is not doing it because they were paid not to do it, like, we cannot put the blindfold over your fucking eyes. You guys still know who's fucking paying who. Like, and the worst part is, it's all public information. It's not even private emails. It's not like, oh, I know this friend, I know that friend. I'm pretty sure they think they got the hangover on you or whatever it's fucking called, but you're just like, honestly, if you pay attention to the patents and the copyright, like, regulations posted publicly on the government website, like, you automatically know, like, who the fuck is doing what. Yeah, and you cross reference the fucking yellow book and all that. Okay. Anyways, I know it's all public information. Yeah, and the whole IP address probably. Okay, now we're trolling. All right. Anyways, so like I said, if you know all this shit, like, you already know it's kind of dumb, and it's kind of rhetorical because you're just kind of like, you may think it's hacking, but it's really not. It's really it's just all public information. No, that's why I kept telling you guys, vigilantes are technically illegal because if you hurt someone before they do something, then the cops have to arrest you, even if the cop knows that what you're doing is right. I don't know. I think the rules are kind of confusing in that aspect, and I think so. The reason why American rules are made that way is because they wanted to give people an opportunity. Because if they created rules before it happened, then it would be okay. Well, that's a good argument. You guys might have to bring that up. What is that? So what if it's preventative? What if you set the speed limit to 20 miles per hour and then was like, okay, this is way too goddamn fucking slow. Maybe we should make it faster. And then you changed it. That's a really good fucking argument, and I never thought about it. So that's something that you guys might have to figure out. No, I think it's because you guys kept fucking arresting them and being like, you shouldn't be fucking doing this. And they're like, well, there's no law, so you can't really blame me for that shit. But you guys did. So I think that's something that you guys created on your own. Anyways, I'm just caught in the middle. But no, I don't think this. I mean, this is only happening in technology. I think. Thank you. Because if you really think about it in like a business, accounting, or a banking perspective, like, I don't think this is really a problem. Wrong camera. Thank you. I think this is definitely just a technology thing because everybody talks like, I mean, unless you want like Glassdoor. It's a Glassdoor. I think it's Glassdoor. Let's see. Yeah, so I know Blue Bottle. Yeah, see. There's also a lot of stuff like Blue Bottle benefits. Gosh, where did see, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Like Indeed is a pretty decent. My person, oh god, Palo Alto was a very busy, not something. So it was garbage management, poor development, coffee cult entanglement. See, this is another thing that I'm talking about. Then it became all harder to continue there because management, if you are hardworking, they will notice and pile more work without paying you what you deserve, and then other bistros will follow up on the bandwagon. I have had an issue where others would take credit for your hard work. That's why I hate them. No, this isn't. This is something where they were probably like, "Oh, Nestle, they got taken over, and that kind of happens when it's a small business, and that's kind of why I didn't want Phil's Coffee. A laid back job is very good as either part time. The hours can be rough if you aren't comfortable early or closing the shop. The route, if you haven't. What I was worried about is management. I don't care. Pay and benefits, culture, management. I want to see the lowest. I don't care about the good ones. I just care about the worst ones. Why? Because usually the worst ones are the most honest. Ooh. Has no idea what's going on in the store. And I am not surprised at all because a lot of them give you like generic answers and generic stuff like and it seems very elitist and slightly kind of like Uber. I mean, I don't think these people watch what happened to Uber, because they're just not interested. And that's kind of why, like, sometimes I think people with tech jobs just don't really deserve their tech jobs because they're not really involved in the business world like they're technically supposed to be. They're just kind of like there for the ride, kind of thing. And it's like, honestly, when people like this ask me, hey, how come you got a salary job and I work at Phil's Coffee? I'm kind of like, I don't fucking know. I'm not the one who hired them. Like, shit. Don't fucking ask me. I wouldn't have given him a job. I would have just let him be whatever the fuck you are. And that was actually the main reason why I actually really like Starbucks. Because I was like, well, if these people can follow the system up and know how to manage system from the ground up, then like you literally don't have a reason to tell them that they cannot work a salary job because they actually did it. So, I mean, well, nobody knows what a fucking company does and nobody knows anything about leadership and or management. Like people literally read books on it and I'm just like it's right in front of your eyes. So, if you know anything about power, leadership, money, or management, you will know exactly why I do the things that I do. Just because I want to get rid of any and all excuses you guys will ever fucking come up with. And that's actually why I love the way that Starbucks is structured. And that's also kind of why I worry about working for Phil's Coffee or Blue Bottle. Because I'm like, it doesn't really seem like one of the first things that I heard from my job interview at Starbucks was pretty much like if you ever want to work for corporate, you can always apply. You can apply at any time actually. And I was like, wow. And I think one of the first things my manager told me was If you want to become a manager, please let us know so we can start training you to be in that role. You don't have that opportunity working at a salary job, do you? Thank you. You have to be hired into a management. No, but it makes sense, you know? Like, it kind of makes sense because look at me. I don't have a college degree, and genetically, I am understanding these things without a college degree because I am genetically, right? So it makes sense why there's a lot of like college requirements and stuff, but it's not really making sense because these motherfuckers are dumb as shit. And these motherfuckers are really fucking smart. And I don't even like, it's not making any sense anymore. so, so what's the point of a college degree? Well, the point of a college degree is so you don't have to think, you know? Hypothetically and theoretically, if you get a college degree, you just have to do the same thing every single day. No questions asked, no worries. You know, you do everything the same, everything, you know, like here, let me write it down this way, okay? So, say you go to school, right? You go to school, all you do is school, copy, attend, repeat. 3 things, right? You copy your work, you attend, and then you repeat, right? And once you get to a salary job, what do? You copy your work, do the same shit every day, you attend your job every single fucking day, and what do you do after? You repeat, right? You do the same shit every single fucking day. And this system works a lot when people are incapable of innovating but respect the rules. Does that kind of make sense? If a person has no idea how to come up with any ideas of what to do with their life, they don't know if they want to be a doctor, they don't know if they want to be a lawyer, they don't know if they want to be a banker, they don't know anything, they don't know a single goddamn thing about their fucking life. This system is made to protect you and ensure that you will always have a place and you will always have a life. How the fuck someone fucked that shit up is fucking beyond me. Because there's a lot of useless motherfuckers that work there that are peaceful as shit. They're fucking retarded, they're fucking dumb, they're fucking useless, they don't know shit, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, but guess what? They are peaceful, they follow the rules, and they make it a decent environment for everybody else. So when you're talking about tax benefits, health insurance, yeah, fuck yeah, they can. They just want to fucking live, thank you. Right? There's nothing wrong with what the fuck they're doing. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. That's not something I'm gonna ever fucking defend. But school technically was made so you guys can have like a secure life like that. As long as you play by the rules and you do what you're supposed to fucking do. I don't know what the fuck these people are doing because I don't know what the fuck they're doing. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like they're just I mean clearly they are taking advantage of people, but I don't think they understand what the fuck that even remotely means. So there's a reason why Foxconn former Foxconn managers detained in a bribery case. There's a reason why Foxconn doesn't think the best idea is to be like, oh yeah, look at this racist motherfucker. Look at this fucking sexist motherfucking touching this person's fucking ass. You know, I don't think that, I think there's a reason why Foxconn never fucking used that as a resolution to their personal inside problems. Thank you. I think there's a reason why they weren't like, oh yeah, this bitch touched this guy's ass, you know, ha, sexual harassment, me too. They were just like, you know, I think the best resolution for this problem is to just probably just criminally charge this guy. So I just find it really annoying that Americans just feel like, that doesn't. I, I don't really see, like, what. So, it doesn't really matter if I use this or not. But thank you. I'm just gonna continue reading this. It's public information. I'm not signed into shit. I mean, if you guys want Indeed to go down, then I mean, you must be against anti competitive laws, which doesn't really make sense. Well, actually, I think that's what a lot of. What were those hackers called? Oh man, I forgot what they're fucking called. Um, USB and wall. Dead drops. Right. So a lot of people were pretty. Thank you. I just remember USB and wall. That's all I got. But I remember a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, I know this," and I'm like, "Do you really know this, or are you just fucking? What are you talking about?" Just throwing that out there. So I have been with Phil's. I mean, no, that's why in the business world everything's a secret. And that's why whenever people are like, "Oh yeah, if you say this about the stock market, you're gonna die," I'm like, damn right. You think I like people talking about my goddamn secrets? Please. Anyways, so I've been with Phil for over a year, and while I did enjoy my time working there, hold on. See what I mean? This is exactly what I'm talking about. So remember when Starbucks started closing the stores, and then in the time that Starbucks started closing the stores, it's kind of the same time Google started having a problem with their management and like a whole bunch of employees just being like really fucked up. Like you guys know, and then after that there came the protests. So like what it works, I think. But thank you. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Can I replace people with Starbucks for what? I think the only thing that cannot be replaced are animals. Because animals need human care. I mean, technically business wise, yes, but if you mean like taking care of animals, can it be replaced by humans? No. I mean by robots, sorry. No. But when it comes to like coffee making or bartending or any of this stuff, yes, very easily can be replaced because there's more accurate measurements and less likely for mistakes and less reason to be angry at a machine when there is four people in front of you. You clearly see there isn't like, oh yeah, this person's playing favorites, so they're gonna do this person's drink first, or this person doesn't know what they're doing, so then they're kind of slower than this person. So in terms of that, then yes, it can very easily be replaced by robots. So the only thing keeping anything alive, especially food service, because people like to spit and people like to be racist and people like to treat people like shit, is the human aspect of everything, right? Why don't I just record it and upload it? Because I really don't care much about it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And why it stops working, beyond me. But so Long's Drugs actually did go bankrupt. If you guys didn't know this, like a really long time ago, it actually did go bankrupt, and Long's Drugs actually did close. Whoa. It's really weird because it will always start on 6, but it doesn't drop just by doing stuff like this. I mean, who's running? Anyways, this is why I wanted Comcast to come. Anyways, all right. So, let's see. So, I'm just going to record it because I feel like I don't know how else to get you guys the information. Okay. So, you see how it starts on this, right? And then look. Just by scrolling, it goes down. And it doesn't make any sense because once I stop scrolling, it doesn't come back up. And look, when I scroll again, it goes back down. Which makes no fucking sense because I'm not doing shit. And look, now it's disappearing again. And it's still red. And look, it's so fucking weird. And this isn't even like a scam site or like a porn site or anything like that. It's a completely legal site to be on. And then it just fucking disappears. Look, that's fucking amazing. And like for me, just looking at other stuff and just looking for shit just makes it disappear. No. This is I think this is the main reason why, especially when it comes to like organized crime, they're very like on top of them, you know? And I think that's why the whole concept of having police and stuff is actually ruining it. And that's why, you know, when it comes to like places like Philippines or like China or like Hong Kong is just a big like organized crime mess right now. If you really think about it, it's like triads fighting with the other triads, so I wouldn't really use Hong Kong as an example right now. I mean, Brie Exit, apparently there's a lot of stabbings and a lot of like shootings and like a lot of just killing a lot of people just on the streets. So I'm not sure if you guys want to use that as an example either. And in Paris is really not any better, considering how anybody that supports rich people pretty much gets robbed to the point where they're scared to go now. So that's also not another good example. So yeah, I would say this is a long time coming. Pretty much they know exactly who you are and they've been trying to get to you, and you keep trying to run to certain people who don't know stuff. So that kind of makes sense why it would only go down at a certain point, and that's kind of why I started recording it. So I can pretty much say, you know, that's really fucking weird. And there was this, and for some reason it loads beautifully now. Anyways, so another thing is, so I don't know if you guys remember this, but I know a lot of you guys were saying how, oh yeah, Long's Drugs is never gonna go bankrupt. Yeah, it actually did, because Long's Drugs was bought by CVS. Oh no, okay, so I was going into Target and a lot of you guys were like, oh yeah, Target's never gonna go bankrupt. I'm like, I think they are and eventually will. Because that's actually what happened with Long's Drugs. And that's why it's all CVS now and there's no more Long's Drugs. Because guess what? They did go bankrupt. Haha. And on top of that, I think there was Washington Mutual. Well, in a bank situation, it's better than Long's Drugs, you know? Because they don't close the stores. So, oh, bank tellers actually do work minimum wage, actually. But there's not really anything to complain about. Ooh, does Chase do upwards? Chase upward mobility job or something? Okay, what the fuck? Not a ton of upward mobility. No, no, no. I'm not surprised by this because the bank system. I mean, if you think about it, and you have a lot of money, right? Like, how are you gonna protect that money? Protection rackets, exactly. So, um, I'm not really surprised that they have a lot of upward mobility because it kind of makes sense considering how they need to have friendly ties with certain different individuals to protect their assets. So that's not really something that's surprising to me at all, actually. What is surprising to me is technology not taking that route and having pretty much just getting butt fucked. So, yeah. I mean, clearly, easily, all can. But I think the only problem comes down to, am I going to get credit? And am I going to get paid? And I know there's a lot of like argument and a lot of debate about, well, if you're the leader, I'm not going to listen to you. Well, honestly, if I'm not going to get the money that I can get just being myself, then technically, what is the point? Anyways, yeah, but all right. Anyways, like I said, thank you. School is technically made for people who don't know what they're doing. And I think that's why companies like Microsoft and Apple are just incapable of keeping their employees that actually know what to do for the company. And that's kind of why when Google was saying the privacy thing, I'm like, I think you're kind of taking advantage of the fact that you're getting benefits and now Google's becoming more and more useless. Yeah, I think that trend, thank you, is kind of why they started paying out, and that's kind of why I said this technically is just blackmail, right? And the whole taking advantage of human rights that also is fraud, like you said. So technically, blackmailing is the same. It's just one person knows how to handle it better than the other. And one person is easier to work with considering they actually know how to make money and you don't. So in that situation, it's kind of easy to pick who side to be on, I guess. Because one side's gonna make you a shit ton of money, and the other side's just gonna give you a bunch of liability. So like, it really isn't that hard of a decision to make. Sorry, it is open source. Shit's out of control. I don't give a shit. Um. So yeah. So if you guys really think Target is going to be that good of a choice, it's the 5% because they cannot beat Walmart. So it's actually really funny how hard they're trying because literally nobody fucking wants to go. Like, if you really think about it, like, for a company to be giving 5%, that's actually quite a bit of money. You know, like, so, I mean, it just cannot be beneficial. But, yeah. CVS closed two underperforming longs. I mean, for Long's drugs to be underperforming, like, I just, yeah, but you have to understand, they're not supposed to understand because they just wanted to trust the system and, so they're not, it doesn't, well, when you start challenging people, then yeah, they're gonna fucking challenge you back. So I suggest you sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Because, thank you, not everybody copied their way through school. Some people actually know what the fuck they're doing. So if you challenge the wrong person, then yeah, they're probably gonna shit on your life. And playing the victim card when you bully people of minimum wage is not really accurate. Yeah, that's why I said they're embarrassing to be around. And so let's see. Nothing I said about the store mattered to our new store leader. He turned out to be, see, this is another thing I was very afraid of. Lied often when addressed with certain issues. The reason why I brought all this up is because people who work at Long's Drugs or like at Target have this like thing of like, oh yeah, this company's never gonna go bankrupt, and then, well, actually, that's why I kind of said like, if you just fired this one person and it was clear that this certain behavior is unacceptable, then it will not continue to happen, and so your store will not. Does that kind of make sense? Because if you have one leader, thank you. If you have one person that's doing it and then it leaves everybody else to do it, then like everybody else stops doing it and then technically you're fucked. Right? And drug testing is easy to fake. I don't know why you guys always emphasize the drug testing thing. Like, it doesn't matter if it's drug tested or not. Like, it's more of how that person is handling the situation. No, this is turning into like a whole entire like business discussion on management and leadership. So, if you don't really know what the fuck is talking about, then that's a personal problem. And I'm not really shitting on this because I kind of want people with salary jobs to understand that you have allies and you have people who fully agree with you and understand what you are going through. So I would take this opportunity to make friendly with these folks. Oh, I'm so good at networking. I will literally network everybody together. I'm like electricity. I can power everything and I can reach everything. So, Light often went understood many barista had more time on the floor than he did, yet he was unwilling to take suggestions or feedback from them. See, this is also another reason why a lot of people are having a lot of problems with a lot of the management at Google or at any corporation, actually. Because they're pretty much like, you don't do anything, you don't know what you're doing, but yet you get paid a CEO salary and you can't even program a fucking computer. Fuck you, I'm not listening to you. And to be honest, I think this is why, yeah, it's just all bad, honestly. Yeah, it's I would say it's all going downhill from here. And do I benefit from Google? Well, which part? Because if you mean the part of where they get to keep their own copyright, I think that's only going to last so long. And even if it lasts so long, I think whoever comes into ring afterwards is probably going to be a better leadership. So I'm probably still going to have the same stability. So I don't really understand what I would technically lose. you know, but hey, I'm not you, so I don't really understand what you're talking about. But well, if you really think about the tech bubble, if you don't know anything about it. No, it was a .com bubble, thank you. So, during the .com bubble, there was a bunch of people who crashed and lost their shit. Oh, Xanga, MySpace, bankrupt. Yeah, you guys were all like, oh yeah, MySpace is gonna be fucking huge. Okay, it's fucking huge. I'm the guy who sold MySpace for 500 while you say hoping for a half day off. Oh man. No, if I was the person who bought MySpace, I would sue the fuck out of that guy. I would be like, you gave me a fraudulent piece of shit, you fucking shithead. Fucking give me back my motherfucking investment. You said this would be a fucking $580 million investment. I didn't get shit. Instead, I lost fucking money. Oh yeah, defrauding. I think this is why they started suing people like Theranos. Because they're like, I'm not about to be fucking dumbass like fucking MySpace. Which benefits all of us. There's nothing to be against there. Many baristas had more time on the floor. Okay, when this issue was brought to light, team lead. Wow. Oof. Well, see, the thing about Starbucks is fucking care. Because if you look at Starbucks International. Well, I actually really respect journalists that do this because I'm like, what the fuck is Vietnam talking about? So I actually really, really respect that. Oh, Shanghai. Starbucks, Shanghai. Wow. So, Starbucks has always been in China as more of a prestigious thing. And it's kind of like Walmart, where Starbucks and Walmart are kind of relying on the Chinese market for it, kind of thing. So, it makes sense why Starbucks in closing stores. It makes sense why Starbucks in America is